Coming off a really good Sunday, we look to put last week past us and start off another week of bets. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets. Thanks for kicking off your week with me here as we're on the Monday edition here of Winning Bets. So we give out free sports picks every single day. I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend hanging out with family and friends and doing what you guys do. It's time to, like I said, get back on into another week. Let's take the time, though, to, of course, recap last week. You guys remember last week was a little bit of rough there. We had 2 days where we went 1-7 in the NBA, which is obviously absolutely unacceptable. Monday and Wednesday, we went 1-7 in the NBA those 2 days. We had a nice Tuesday. Tuesday, we went 3-2 in the NBA, which was overall, which was highlighted by the big under 236 0.5 points, that Nets Blazers game, where correctly predicted that they were going to be 228 points scored in that game. So that was really nice. We also did last week. We did a WGC match play head to head. We got Sergio Garcia over Lee Westwood. He won that match relatively easy, so that was a nice cash there for us. You guys remember on Friday's show, I told you more than likely I was going to take Friday night off. That's exactly what I did. I went ahead and just take a step back, sit back, and relax, and didn't get any NBA action in on Friday night. Came back, though, on the NBA on Saturday, put in just one bet, wanted to just kind of put my toes in the water there, make sure I recharged and was feeling good, and that's exactly what I did. I did Oklahoma City Thunder over their first half point total and got a real nice cash there. They went over that. So started off that with a nice cash. Also but Sunday was just a really nice day. Really got the confidence, got the mojo back. Went 4-1 overall on Sunday and plus 2.99 units. It all started off with a World Cup qualifier. I'm not a big soccer guy. Kind of talked about it here in terms of, I'm a huge soccer guy, not a big international soccer guy. I watch so much damn soccer. I can't even tell you guys how much soccer I watch. I really use the international breaks as a time to take a break myself. But I was itching. I was missing soccer. So I went ahead and did a nice four-legged parlay, that cash. I did France -1. They took care of business. Took over 1.5 goals in the Spain match and in the England match. Both of those teams had obviously over 1.5 goals. And then did Germany on the money line. I ended up hedging that bet because the first 3 results were in first, and the only one remaining was that Germany money line. But the payout was going to be so good on the 4 picks in that parlay at plus 1.89 units. I went ahead and put in a little bit of hedge there on the Romania double chance. Did not end up needing it. Germany ended up getting the 1-0 win, but made it more enjoyable of a watch because they only won the game 1-0. That would have been really nervous. Had I not had that hedge in, and I don't mind doing that hedge because the payout was so good. Yeah, I'll put up a little hedge all day long to secure a profit because both of those, whether the hedge would have hit or the original 4-legged parlay would have hit, I would have won over a unit. So that was a good spot, to go ahead and use a hedge there. Sunday continued with a lot of winning ways. Went 3-0 on NBA player props. That was absolutely outstanding. The big one there, the one that I'm really proud of, was Clint Capella. I took the under of Clint Capella's point total, and that went up against Prop Bet Guy on Twitter, which everybody knows, and Pips on Twitter that everybody knows. Both of those two guys went over his point total, and like I said, I went under his point total, and I got a cash there. So that just felt good to get a nice good cash there, knowing that I was on the other side of guys that are highly respected in this industry. Also did Gordon Hayward. I did under his point total, under 18.5. That was a big time sweat there. He had 13 going into the fourth quarter. Didn't check into that fourth quarter till about five or so minutes to go in that game. Didn't do anything in that fourth quarter, but the game went to overtime. The game went to overtime. He made a couple free throws in overtime and ended up ending that game with 15. But yeah, normally unders die in overtime, but thankfully that under did not die in overtime. And Gordon Hayward, he had a tough matchup. That's why I went ahead and bet his under. He's just had a brutally tough matchup going up against that Phoenix Suns defense. And more importantly, the defense as a whole is obviously outstanding, but they really defend that small forward position really well. So that's why I went ahead and made that bet. And like I said, even came through for us there in overtime and got a good cash for us. Then the other NBA prop that I did yesterday was a 3-legged one. It was something I've done maybe like a month ago where instead of taking the player's point total, just go ahead and take it a little bit lower of maybe getting like 10 plus or 15 plus, 20 plus, whatever have you. But obviously then you got to parlay it with a couple guys. So that's what I did. I did Montrezl Harrell to get 15 plus. He did that. DeAndre Ayton, I did him to get over 10 plus. He did that. He did that in the first quarter or maybe early second quarter. Can't quite remember which one it was. And then Siakam was the other player to go 20 plus. So did that three-legged parlay with those three guys, and that came out at plus money, and that one cashed. The only trip up of the day was Lakers Magics, took their over. It was only over 207. The stats obviously supported that game would go over, but yeah, neither of those teams even got to 100 points, which is a shame because both those teams, in their current setting with the players that they have on the court are just not good defensively at all. Thought that was going to be a good spot. The numbers, supported it. It just fell a little bit short, but still good Sunday, 4-1 and plus 2.99 units. Like I said, really gives me the confidence and the mojo back to, head on into this week and keep on killing. It was a bad week last week. Absolutely bad last week. Overall was 13, 24, and 1, down over 11 units. And that puts us now on the year at 227, 236, and 6. But we're still up on the year. Still up over 4.17 units on the 2021 year. So got that confidence going that, had a terrible week, but still up on the year. And that's what, obviously, the objective is, right? We know this is a marathon, not a sprint. And while I lost a little bit money there in the sprint, overall in the marathon, I'm still winning money. Like I said, up over 4 units. And then you add in the confidence. I've had a good Saturday night there, NBA bet, a good Sunday bet, or, all good Sunday bets really there on Sunday. So, yeah, just ready to just take this on to the new week and put some money in my pocket and put some money in your pockets, more importantly. That's what I want to do here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and run through the Monday bets. You guys remember I've got these NASCAR bets. I've got the 1 unit in total spread across 4 different bets, 4 guys that make the top 10. We've got Bubba Wallace, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Chris Wydom, and Tyler Reddick. I would say, guys, if you haven't made this bet, probably just want to back off of it. I watched qualifying, watched practice on Friday. Saturday was majority rained out, but I've really lost my excitement, lost my enthusiasm for this race. I think it's going to be absolutely shit show. I think there's going to be wrecks nonstop. Players or the drivers are talking about how, the amount of dust that is kicked up, up off the surface. It's hard for these drivers to even see what the hell's in front of them. So I think it's going to be an absolute shit show. I just need 2 of these guys to finish in the top 10 because they're all at plus money and I can turn a little bit of profit. Hopefully I get that. But yeah, if you haven't made those bets, maybe advise maybe staying off that. I'm going to be watching the race. This gives me a little bit more excitement. It's only 1 unit in play. I've already, I've given you guys the information. These guys should get in the top 10, all things considering. But boy, is this race going to be the great unknown. So yeah, I'll still watch it, but yeah, I've definitely kind of backed off in terms of my excitement, enthusiasm for this race. I wish it was just, Bristol's such a good racetrack. I've been to a few racetracks, and Bristol's one of the ones that I've been to. It's such a good stadium where you can sit in the bowl, and wherever you sit, you can see the whole track, and the cars run around. Such a really good track. It's just a shame they threw dirt on that, because in the NASCAR circuit, it's probably like one of the top 3 tracks. I mean, that's how just great Bristol is. I absolutely love that track. Like I said, I've been there, but also just watching it on television. It's just a good race, good track. So, unfortunate they've ruined it with some dirt. Still watch it, but let's see what happens there with those 4 drivers finishing in the top 10. Let's go ahead and now move on into some NBA action for you tonight. I've got a couple player props, a couple things I'm keeping my eye on, and we'll go ahead and run through these for you. The first one, I'm going to take Zion Williamson over 27.5 points, and you can find that at minus 116 over at FanDuel. He hit Boston for 28 earlier on the season, and that was with Tristan Thompson, I'm not quite sure what this power forward's name is here, whatever the hell his name is, and Daniel Theis. All 3 of those guys played in that game when he dropped 28 earlier this season against Boston. All 3 of those guys, they're not going to be playing, whether they've been traded to another team or they're out due to injuries. Those 3 guys are not involved. So Grant Williams is going to be guarding Zion Williamson. He's given up 50 pounds to Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson just have his way in the paint. Boston, their last 7 and the last 14, they're allowing 29.9 points on 59.3 field goal percentage and 20.8 points on 53% field goal percentage. Again, in the last 7 and the last 14, all those rank in the bottom third. And those stats were against power forwards. I mean, Zion, again, should just absolutely have his way against a really depleted front court here of the Boston Celtics. So, yeah, go ahead and give me Zion Williamson over 27.5 points, and that's minus 116 over at FanDuel. The next NBA player prop I like here is Nikola Vucevic. Look, he's over 20. Did I write down 22? I think I bought that at. What did I buy? I think I bought that at. I don't think I bought one. Hold on. Let me pull up my sheet. I think I wrote it down on my notes wrong. Oh, no, okay. Over 23.5 points. Yeah, okay. over 20. So he's at over 23.5 points at minus 106 over at FanDuel. Listen to these stats, guys. Unreal. He's going up against the Warriors here. The Warriors are second worst in the last 14 defending the center position. They're allowing 25.5 points on 62.9 field goal percentage. Again, that's second worst in the NBA defending the center position. Listen to these stats. They keep getting worse. Warriors are 25th in the league in defending the paint within 6 feet in the last 10. Within the last 10, they rank 29th in the NBA in defending the restricted area. Within the last 10, they rank number 27th in the league in defending the paint non-restricted area. And in the last 10, they rank 29th in the league of opponents' points scored in the paint. So, yeah, just an absolutely terrible paint interior defense there of the Warriors. So Nikola Vucevic over 23.5 points at minus 106. The sportsbooks have taken into account that obviously he's a Bull now. If he comes into this game as a Magic, this would be at 26.5 or 27.5. They've obviously knocked it down because they know he's on a better team and competing with Zach LaVine for shots. But the thing that also has boosted this a little bit more, not that you need boosting, but those numbers for the Warriors defending the paint are just atrocious. But Zach LaVine, he doesn't have an easy matchup. He doesn't have a tough matchup. He's got about an average to maybe closer to a little bit of a tougher matchup there at his position. So kind of like that. You know, he's going to take shots away from them. I mean, they're going to be taking shots away from each other. I mean, these are, obviously their two best player and two stars now on their team. But if you're looking at this from a Bulls perspective and you say, how can we attack this Warriors team? It's obviously through the paint. This should be a game where Vucevic, takes over and he has more of the advantage and more of the production over Zach LaVine. So again, it's Nikola Vucevic over 23.5 points at minus 106 over at FanDuel. A couple other things I'm going to keep in mind or keep in track here. Jerami Grant over 22.5 points. May pull a trigger on him. The thing I like about that is of the Pistons, this guy is the guy. Like, he takes all the shots. He takes all the shots every game. Nobody's going to outshoot this guy. He's the guy there for the Pistons. So, yeah, I like over 22.5 points. Raptors, Pistons, sorry. Neither of these teams should really be getting blown out. Raptors played last night, so kind of like Jerami Grant to have himself a nice night at over 22.5 points. Again, I'll keep my eye on that. And I also like Rudy Gobert over 13.5 rebounds. They're going up against the Cavaliers. We know they traded McGee, so he doesn't have to deal with that center, which I think McGee's a really good, center, really good from the defensive standpoint. But then there also is going to be no Jared Allen. He's injured in this game, so I don't know who the hell the Cavs are going to be starting at the center position. But with no Allen, no McGee, it's not going to be anybody near the size and the just defensive prowess that Rudy Gobert can bring to the table. So he should definitely be grabbing all the rebounds. There is a threat of a blowout potential in this game, certainly. I mean, the line is 15.5 points. Last time I called, I actually think the Jazz can cover 15.5 points. Maybe I end up making that bet. But let's just say there is a blowout. If there's a blowout, that's because one team isn't making their shots. Well, he's not making their shots. That gives him rebounds. So, like him for that. On the off chance it is a close game and he gets his normal minute allotment, then he should go over 13.5 just due to the big-time rebounding advantage that he's going to have in this game. So, haven't pulled the trigger on that. I'm just kind of just going back and forth. The reason I haven't pulled the trigger on a couple of these is, obviously last week got my ass kicked, making 8 NBA bets on Monday, 8 NBA bets on Wednesday. Just going to scale it back and just going to keep it to 4 today. Just going to keep it to 4 bets until I can go 3-1, 4-0, and what have you. Then I'll add a bet. But until I can go 3-1 and 4-0 on a consistent basis, I'm just going to keep it 4 bets. So those are the 2 player props I'm considering adding. The other bets I'm considering adding, again, is maybe Jazz minus 15.5. And they're going to kill. They're going to absolutely destroy these Cavs. Obviously, got the Nets in play. They should handle business. The Mavericks should also handle business up against the Thunder. But when you start doing this is when these odds are kind of so crazy, at least in terms of the money lines, then you got to start doing parlays. We know parlays are tough, so I'm just a little bit undecided if I want to do it, Jazz, Nets, Mavericks with some sort of point spread in there. The couple bets that I do like, just straight up against the spread, are Knicks plus 4.5. The reason I can't pull the trigger on that yet is because both Randall and Bullock are both questionable going this game. Obviously, Randall doesn't play. You don't want any bet of any part of Knicks plus 4.5. But we know the Knicks, tough, gritty team. Really, just they claw, they fight. They're in every single game. So I really like the Knicks plus 4.5 if Randall can play and if Bullock plays. That's just another extra added little bonus there. And then I kind of like Rockets +5. That's even now gone to +5.5. Look, we're waiting to hear if Christian Wood is going to play. He's questionable going to this game. Obviously, if Wood doesn't play, you don't want any part of this game. I obviously know the Rockets, went on that terrible slide. They lost, 18 games in a row. And I think they lost like 19 of 20 or something. But if you guys recall, the game that Christian Wood got hit in, and the game before that terrible slide where they lost 18 games in a row at, it was against these Memphis Grizzlies, and the Rockets won that game. The Rockets, they can compete with the Grizzlies. Grizzlies is not some, great, fantastic team. In that game, they didn't have Oladipo play. They didn't have Wall, Wood, and Gordon play. We know Gordon's going to be out. So I just need Wall to play, and I obviously need Wood to play, and might go ahead and pull a trigger there on Rockets plus 5.5 as it is now at this point. So those are the couple things I'm considering. Maybe we'll make a parlay. Do like Knicks plus 4.5 depending on who's playing. Got the Rockets in mind. And then I've also got Rudy Gobert with 13.5 rebounds and Jerami Grant over 22.5. We'll be pulling the trigger on a couple of those. I've got 2 bets in right now. Again, we got Zion and Vujic. I'm going to add 2 more to it at some point today. So just make sure you're following me on Twitter. It's at WinningBetsPod. It's at WinningBetsPod. We'll look to add a couple more bets to that and have 4 total going in tonight's NBA slate. We'll look to have a good, nice, solid Monday here on Winning Bets on the heels of a really nice, good Sunday and Saturday that we had there, and we'll carry it on into the rest of the week here as we've plowed you ahead on to the end of this week. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoy your Monday, and I look to see you guys back on Tuesday. We'll recap it and start off another day. Have a good one.
Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.